In this week's episode of Working with Todoist, I answer the most frequently asked question. Hello and welcome to another episode of Working with Todoist. My name is Carl Pauline, and in this week's episode I answer the question how to get my daily tasks in order. Now what I mean by that is how do I order the tasks in the way that I want to see the tasks from the top to the bottom. Now actually in Todoist this is not easily done if you're using flags, for example. But even if you are using flags, how do you organize it so that the flags organize themselves in the right order too? And so what I thought I would do in this week's episode is put together a quick episode to show you how Todoist organizes tasks, in what hierarchical order, using projects, labels, flags, dates and times. So I'm going to show you all of those things in this week's episode. But before I do that, I would just like to say, if you like this episode, please click on that like button below, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. Okay, let's get into Todoist and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here we are in my demo account once again, and as you can see I've got two exercises here today. I'm going to get rid of those. So here is just a random list of tasks that have no date except for today, no flags, although they do have a number of labels, as you can see here. Now the first thing I should point out is if you're not using any labels and you're not using any dates except for today's date, so you're not using a particular time, then the natural order that Todoist is going to put your tasks is in the order of your projects. Projects will always come first. So you can see here I've got organize office renovation, and that is right there up at the top. Now I've actually got nothing in here, so let's just show you what I mean by this. If I put do power, and again I can't spell, so let's just put that in, and I'm going to put that in for today. So that's added in for today. Again, I've not put any flags or anything like that, so if I go into my today view now, that's actually come down at the bottom. It's not meant to do, but had this come up in the normal day, this would have come in here, because it actually comes in the order of your actual file. So if I go into the next 7 days, you'll see that it's all here, comes up in that particular order. Routines, you see, comes down at the bottom here, so they're actually coming down, and someday maybe is where my annual brand plan is. So as you can see, it's in here, so that's down at the bottom. And so that's the first way that Todoist is going to organize your today view. Now if you want to get things up at the top, and the easiest way to do this is just to add the flags. Now when you add a flag, like for randomly selecting this one, as you can see it now disappeared, but it's come up at the top. Flags are the easiest way to get things to float to the top. So if I add an orange one there, and I add a yellow one here, and what you'll see is they come up red, orange, yellow, and then white. So now, although routines are at the bottom of my project list, as you can see, or near the bottom of my project list, you can see that this has actually dropped down and routines have gone to the top, simply because these are here. Now let's say I want to change this one round. It's not likely to do anything, but I'm going to make that a yellow one. It's going to go underneath my health and fitness, because my health and fitness is above that particular flag. So this is the way that tasks are naturally ordered. Now the thing is, although I can drag them, I can actually drag within the actual flag itself, but I've found that's not the most stable way, and sometimes you'll find that the list will alter as you go around. Now if you really want to get something to the very top, then let's say I've got this one here, and I'm going to put what time is it now? The time is about 1:15, so let's say 2 p.m. and I'm just going to add that there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to change the flag. What's happened is that now has no flag, as you can see, no flag, but it's got a time. Time will always come up at the top, so time trumps flags, if you like. So if you add a time into it, it's going to change it, it's going to take it straight to the top. Now of course, if I take this one here and I put this one at 14:05, that's going to go below, and let's say we're going to call Fred at 13. Now I'm going to make this one a time that's already passed. Oh, where did that go? That's gone. So let's go back into this. I wasn't watching what I was doing, so let's take this one here. So because I put an at on that, so let's just put 1300 hours. Add that. So what's happened is, because I didn't actually put the time, so what I'm going to do is change that. I put the time, I'm going to change that to the 24th, like that. And I'm going to change that to the 24th as well, like that. And you'll see now that these have turned red. And that's what happens when you actually are using times. Now, times is not something that I particularly use when I'm organizing. I just use the flags, and I just wanted to give you an update on how I actually use the flags in Todoist. Now for me, my two objectives will always have the red flag. So my two objectives, every day I will have two red flags, and they're linked to my objectives. When I use the orange flag, so let's say this organized temporary office, so I'm going to give that an orange flag. Why I do that is simply because what I want to do is see my morning tasks. So the orange flag is for morning tasks, yellow flag is for afternoon tasks, and no flag or white flag or P4 is for my evening tasks. So that's the way I actually organize things. So I don't actually use the times, but as you can see, when you have the times in place, they automatically take precedent and will come to the top of your daily list. When you organize, let's go back into that one. When you organize things by flag, then your flags will come up in the order of the flags. So red flag will come up at the top, orange flag will come next, and then yellow flags, and then white flags. And excuse me, and then finally you will have by project order. So if you're not using times or flags, but they've all got the same date, then it will automatically come up in project order. So the order that you have your projects set up in your projects list. And that's how Todoist organizes your lists for you. There is no override except when you're actually in the project itself. So I'm going to go into this project here. Now, as you can see, I've got different dates and different times. What you can do is hit the S key, and that will put all the dated tasks up above. Now, as you know, when we were doing the Tony Robbins OPA or RPM system, I've got the outcome, purpose, action. So actually, I don't want that to happen. But if you really wanted to and you were not using the RPM system, then hitting the S key will take the things up at the top. Now, if you want to undo that, and if you wanted to do it by priority, you just hit the P and it'll put the priority. Anything with a priority will come up at the top, which actually might be a nice way of doing it, even if you're using the RPM system. So you can do it within the project order. You can organize by date, you can organize by priority. Now over here somewhere sorry, it's over here. I have the sorting tasks inside a project. So you need to have a project view open for these shortcuts to work. So you need to have a project view open for these shortcuts to work, but you can sort by date with an S, sort by priority with a P, and if you're actually collaborating with anyone, you can sort by assignee. And that's how you essentially organize your tasks within Todoist. Date and time will always come up at the very top. After that, it will go by your flag order, and then after that, it will go by your project order. Okay, hopefully that's given you a clearer understanding of how Todoist organize your tasks. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'd just like to tell you about my free beginner's guide to building your own productivity system. Now, if you are new to productivity, or even if you're an old hand to productivity systems, this beginner's guide is designed especially for you. It's around about a 1 hour long online course that will give you all the tips and tricks that you need to build your very own productivity system so that you can start focusing in on the things that are important to you and start building a life that you can be very happy with. I just want to say thank you again so much for watching this video, and I hope you join me in my free beginner's guide to building your own productivity system. Details on how to enroll in that course are in the show notes below, or you can click up there or on the video link there. It'll give you all the details that you need to get yourself into this course. Thanks again.